Okay, before I start my reaction to this double mythic hero banner, I just wanted to say I'm not going to be saying their names because, frankly, I don't know how to say them correctly, so I don't want to butcher it, and it's just I'm not good with these names. So yeah, I'm just going to call them Bandage Lady and Deer Man. So I apologize if I'm just not, I'm not able to say them. I just can't be bothered to try and pronounce them. But yeah, so yeah, double mythic heroes is these two OCs in the book, in the current book, and they are expected, especially because I think Kozaki, the artist for Bandage Lady, like accidentally leaked the art or something like that, so we kind of knew, or at least expected her to be on here, or at least one of them to be on here. And it's both of them. So going to be a pretty stacked banner, at least with these two units, because they're going to be new and very powerful, of course. So Bandage Lady here, she is a anima defense mythic, and she is definitely going to be one of the better ones. Healing Nectar, and she has some pretty crazy stuff. Yeah, so she's a anima defense mythic that is a green beast infantry. We don't really have too many of those. And here she is. So and her beast transformation thing, I think she's a goat, right? He's really crazy looking. So Nectar Horn is her weapon, -1 cooldown to start of player phase or enemy phase. So that means Elimine cannot stop this. And if any foes within 3 rows of 3 columns centered on unit have res less than units res +5, inflicts attack defense -7, discord, deep wounds, and a penalty that neutralizes non-special if foes will reduce units HP to 0. Unit survives with 1. Okay, so basically she stops miracle effects, which is nice. Deep wounds, discord, those are all amazing penalties on the foe, because any kind of miracle shenanigans is basically eradicated. And then if foe initiates combat or foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at start of combat, inflicts attack defense -6 on the foe, penalty on their attack defense equal to 20% of your res, so that is true damage. And you also have damage reduction based on 20% of your res, so that's amazing. So flat res based true flat damage reduction or true damage reduction. And you also neutralize attack defense, so you basically have a low attack defense and special cooldown charge +1, and then of course the standard infantry beast condition that you get plus attack or +2 attack, +7 true damage when your special triggers, and null guard. So really amazing weapon for sure, because you provide the support for your team and basically weaken the foe and stop their shenanigans if they bring any of those. So deep wounds, stop their healing. Even though we do have breath of life, you at least be able to mitigate some of it. And then of course miracle effects are going to be stopped, so that is really amazing. And then she comes with Aegis. This is interesting because Aegis, ever since Hardy Fighter and just a lot of nukes coming around, Aegis and Pavis have seen more use, because I remember in the first few years of the game, these specials were pretty much never used, but now that we actually have skills to utilize it and there's more things to have a reason to use it, we have more use of them. And it's rare you see a modern unit these days come with Aegis or Pavis, because usually if they're going to have a defensive special, it's going to be something like, Godlike Reflexes or whatever. So Aegis is cool. And then she comes with a new A skill, Stronghold, which is essentially Fortress Defense Res 4. So this is a cool rebranding of that skill that's pretty outdated at this point, so that's why they made it. So this gives inflicts attack -3 and defense res +7, and then start of player phase or enemy phase, you neutralize panic and any penalties to your defense res that take effect of that unit at this time. So this is basically similar to Verge of Death, which does that for your offensive stats. So I like what they did with Stronghold. So that's going to help her with the res checks in her weapon. And then moving on, she comes with, what does she come with? She comes with Attack Defense Bulwark 4 and Divine Nectar. So this is her PRFC skill, because all the other stuff she did was not enough. So at the start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, let's see, I lost my place here, sorry. Grants Divine Nectar to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit for 1 turn. So Divine Nectar neutralizes deep wounds during combat and restores 20 HP to unit as unit combat begins. So any kind of fatal smoke shenanigans is basically going to be, doesn't matter. So she's still going to be able to heal a lot, which is amazing. And you also have, if it is unit's first combat initiated by foe or first combat initiated by unit that turn, you reduce damage from foes' attacks by 10%, or not 10%, 10 during combat. So similar to what we have for Clever Fighter that just came out on Ascended Amelia, this is flat DR, so that's amazing. So interesting condition, if it's the first combat by the foe or first combat by you initiated, then you get flat damage reduction. That's amazing. So moving on here, if rally or movement assist skill like reposition, etc. is used by an ally with this Divine Nectar status, you grant another action to that ally. That's incredible. And you also, let's see. Okay, so if once per turn, if another effect that grants action this unit has been activated, same time this effect is also considered triggered. And if units within 3 spaces of an ally inflicts attack, defense -5, and guard on the foe. So Divine Nectar is really, really good, stopping any kind of fatal smoke stuff. You have flat damage reduction, lots of healing, and you have the ability to move again if you do have the status, excluding yourself. So basically, on defense, if you get any kind of assist, like a rally, dance, I guess, any kind of repo, positioning skill, you can move again, even after you have moved already, which is really scary because there's a lot of enough movement shenanigans, not just with regular movement, but with just, you know, your assist, like Dual Robin, who I hate fighting. So with this give them even more actions. I don't know, I guess it's once per turn, but either way, Divine Nectar is an amazing support along with the other effects she can already inflict. And as a combat unit, she's already amazing with the flat damage reduction, buff nullification. So she is really the full package, I'd say, and definitely one of the best anima mythics. And she's going to be really, really good alongside Freyr, who already, you know, neutralizes all those penalties. So she can also neutralize Fatal Smoke. So this is just a nasty combo for Anima Mythics, and Astra Mythics are just struggling right now, at least especially, or mainly Elimine, because Elimine used to be able to stop all this crap, but now she can't because their status for it, or their condition for it, is not at the start of turn. So Elimine right now is in a tough spot, so she's really fallen off. And I do use her a lot when there isn't, you know, Freyr. When I guess I cross my fingers and hope he's not there, but he usually is. And now you have to worry about this Bandage Lady being an absolute menace and just a really good unit. It makes sense that she can heal this much because she is part of the healing hands, I believe, like Ratatoskr. So that is Bandage Lady, and she's going to be a really, really good defense mythic, I'd say. At least on paper, she's going to be. So yeah, definitely look at that. Her beast transformation is crazy. So next up is the man that people are thirsty for, the Golden Deer / dumbbell workout guy. Really strong dude. Yeah, this dude is a colorless beast cavalier, and he's an Astra mythic. So he is going to be on offense, and obviously because he's a villain, or at least he's a villain for now. And Bandage Lady is going to be on defense. So Quieting Antler, I almost said Aether. Enables Canto 2, -1 cooldown. At start of turn, if units within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack defense +6, bonus doubler to unit and allies within 2 spaces. That's really good support because Cavaliers can't get bonus doubler, so it's just universal bonus doubler. And if units within 2 spaces of an ally, and if unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit have bonuses to all their stats after start of turn triggers, or start of turn skills trigger, okay, grants an additional +3 to the corresponding stats for unit and those allies for 1 turn. Okay. Calculates each stat bonus dependably, maximum 10. So interesting. So if, for example, someone has like an oath skill or a pledge skill, obviously those are going to trigger, and then you get an additional +3 to each stat to yourself and those allies. So that is just even more stats, of course. And if unit initiates combat, or if units within 2 spaces of an ally, if the penalty on foe's attack defense equal to 6 plus 20%. Okay, so here we go with the equations. 6 plus 20% of unit's defense at the start of combat. So, and you also deal X damage, so that's true damage, equal to the highest total bonuses among unit and allies. So this is similar to a Tunsita, and that's one of the easiest conditions in the game, just giving you true damage, and that's going to hit really hard, or flat damage reduction, depending on the bonuses among yourself and your allies within 3 spaces, excluding AoEs, and reduces damage from foes' attacks by 50% of X. So again, X is going to be the highest total bonuses, which is really easy because he already gives those bonuses naturally, and when they have those bonuses, they're going to get even more stats. So this weapon is disgustingly strong. And then at start of turn, if unit is adjacent to only Beast or Dragon allies, the unit transforms, grants attack +2, and inflicts attack defense -Y on the foe during combat. Y equals the, I think this is what the Beast Cavaliers have now. So Y equals number of spaces from start position, end position, whoever initiated combat. So it's like a clash. +3, maximum 6. And also if Y equals or greater than 5, you reduce damage from foes for attack by 30%. So Quieting Antler is amazing. And that's all I can really say. Just a really crazy cracked weapon. Anytime you have X equals this, like, that's usually really strong. That's why Tunsita is one of the best units in the game right now. And yeah, you know, Deerman here also has a similar thing going on. Fierce Beast is his special. This is going to be inheritable, looks like, because it literally has Beast in the name. I thought it was Fierce Blast at first, but it's Fierce Beast. So this is 2 cooldown. Really, really easy to trigger. And boosts special damage by X% of unit's attack when special triggers. If transform, X equals 25, otherwise 20. So it doesn't hit that hard. I saw the X and I was like, okay, here we go. It's going to be like ridiculous, but it's basically limited to 25 as the maximum. If you're transformed, it's 25. Otherwise, X equals 20. Wait, am I doing that right? No, actually, what am I talking about? It's 20% or 25% of your attack. So it does scale off your attack, but still it's like Draconic Aura. So yeah, never mind. Yeah. So, but still, that's going to hit pretty hard because beasts, especially this guy, are going to hit hard. And then, of course, you have damage reduction piercing. So that just goes to show how common and strong damage reduction piercing is. And yeah, that's going to be really good for beasts because beasts don't really get many skill options compared to other class types. So that's really nice. And then attack defense XL, that's more flat damage reduction. So this dude can get even bulkier. And this is going to be really good for units like Glenn or like his brother Cormac. Anybody that has flat damage reduction can use this skill. If you do, you know, excel in the attack defense department. Divine Strength is his beast skill. So this removes the condition to transform, of course. After start of turn triggers, or start of turn effects trigger on player phase or enemy phase, you neutralize any penalty. Okay, so basically you're like Freyr. You're offensive Freyr, and you inflict attack defense -5 on the foe, and you make a guaranteed follow-up attack because this dude's going to be slow. And then restore 7 HP. If unit's attack at the start of combat is less than or equal to foe's attack at the start of combat -5, you inflict attack defense -6 on the foe. And if your defense at start of combat is greater than or equal to foe's defense, then you inflict attack defense -6 on the foe during combat. So just tons of stats. You're already getting hella stats, and then this skill gives you even more depending on if you have more attack or defense on them, which, you know, most of the time you are because this dude is ripped. So Divine Strength lives up to the name, and then Beast Threaten, which we saw on Summoner Enthuse, inflicts panic on foes, defense -7 within 3 rows 3 columns, and you also have -1 cooldown if you're any foes within 3 rows 3 columns. Centered on unit and an attack +6 buff. So just he is insanely strong. He's going to be very, very annoying to try and take out. Luckily for me, because he's a Cavalier, he is weak to Attune Sita, so he's going to be able to take, or he's going to have to take those Wing Spear hits. But still, even with that, he can probably live a couple initiations or combats because of just how sheer, you know, how bulky he can get, like just the sheer bulk he has and the strength he has. So here he is against Freyr, who already at the time when he came out, he was a really, really bulky goat, but this guy is the definition of a bulky Cavalier, and he just Shoryuken uppercuts Freyr. And the fact that he is basically an Astromythic Freyr, that's really good. He's going to be like one of the best Astromythics, and you know, Elimine was that once really, really strong Astromythic. Now this dude, even though he can't false start, he can still stop any kind of penalty towards his teammates and give them support, and also just hit really hard. So yeah, he's going to be really, really good, and I'm tempted to get him because he's going to be really useful for sure. So, and yeah, his kit is just insane. Formortis is sad. They always just beat up Formortis now. Formortis is sadly outdated and can't really take a lot of new stuff now, so that's kind of sucky, but at least he gets access to Fierce Beast, I guess. And here are the rest of the heroes on the banner. So he's Carlos, she is green. We have Legendary Sita, my girl. We have Legendary Nana, Legendary Deirdre, Legendary Lincia, Vasir. We have Legendary Camilla. We have Legendary Male Lear. We have Attuned, is that Attuned Azura? Yeah, we have Mozu and Loki. So there's a few duds here. I think blue is probably the worst color because blue, even though I love Sita, of course, she is not the most desirable unit right now unless you're trying to plus 10 her or whatever. Her fodder's not the greatest, so she's kind of a dud. And then you also have Deirdre, who's also kind of a dud. She's kind of an older legendary. She can still work, of course. I mean, any of these units can work at high investment, but Deirdre is not the most desirable blue mage right now. And then who else do we have in blue? We also have Mozu, who is a newer lance infantry, but she does not stand out as much compared to the other ones released this year, Attune Sita and Summer Goldmary, but she can still be pretty good. She has unique terrain application and effects, so that's cool. And then for colorless, we have, of course, Deerman, and we have Loki, who's also really annoying. And then you have Legendary Male Lear, who's one of the better Omni tanks of the game. So really, colorless is really stacked. And then for green, we have, of course, Bandage Lady. And then we have Legendary Camilla, who's still going strong. She's still annoying. Even if we do have Breath of Life, she can still pierce through damage reduction, give that to people. And also Attuned Azura, who's amazing for the fodder. And just an amazing dancer. And then for red, we have Legendary Lincia, Legendary Nana, and Vasir. So I say out of the three, Lincia is the best one. Vasir is not the greatest defense mythic. I guess you can hit hard sometimes, but excuse me. But with the tanks that we have, it's kind of hard. And Nana, she can still hit pretty hard. She pierces through, damage reduction. She ignores, some stuff. So she can hit pretty hard, but in the grand scheme of things, she's kind of outdated. So she's not gonna be able to kill everything. So she's kind of a dud in the red. So I say Alencia's the best. So the best colors are definitely green and colorless. They have the best value. Unless you're trying to merge anyone else here, I really wouldn't go for blue or red. But, you know, this banner is decently good. I'd say it's not stacked. I wouldn't say it's stacked, but it's pretty good. But yeah, that is pretty much my banner reaction to these two mythics. They are really, really strong in their own ways and are going to be meta, at least for the foreseeable future, I think. But keep in mind, we do have Choose Your Legends coming up. So if you're saving for that, stay strong. Don't get baited if you are trying to save for your favorites that won Choose Your Legends. I'm kind of tempted to summon this banner, but I don't know. I should think about it. But yeah, Golden Deer Man and Bandage Lady are very, very strong. So that is my video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did, and good luck if you're summoning. Please stay safe out there. Peace out.